Okay, very good evening. So it's almost 5 o'clock. Okay, so I hope all of you are in the pink of health. Okay, despite of the spike of the cases. Okay, recorded today. So today, the intention. Okay, I've start to record this. What I call this. Um, okay. So first and foremost, can you hear my voice? Okay, can you hear my voice?
Can hear.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so when the others join, okay, thank you, Natalie. So we are going to discuss first, okay, on how to study law, okay, in general, okay, just to give you a view, okay, and this, actually, this session is also being recorded. Okay, let me check first whether it is recorded. Start recording. Okay, but before that, do you know Ngo Yi Leon? Okay, because I've tried to contact the student. Okay, because basically almost all of you join Telegram. Okay, for fast communication. Okay, as regard to this subject, introduction to law. Okay, so I don't know whether he managed to join the Telegram group. Okay, or not. Okay, so I hope that all of you okay has joined this Telegram. Okay, uh, so at least it's easier for us to communicate. Okay, because the contact number that according to the system, it do not have WhatsApp and do not have Telegram, okay, for communication. Okay, so there are 32 okay of you, okay, 31 okay of you currently. So we proceed, okay, while the others may join later. We're going to proceed how to study law. Okay, let us look okay at the slide. Can you see the slide, class? So there might be some of you, okay, this is the first time taking law. So basically there are many skills related to study law or read law. What are the types of reading, note taking, mind mapping? I'm not sure whether you have been taught or not about mind mapping, not only for law paper but for other subject, and we're going to look also at answer law paper examination. So in general, learning of study law, okay, usually you try to comprehend what you read and try to get ready with the dictionary, specifically law dictionary, okay, not simply a concise Oxford dictionary. But nowadays, okay, it is possible also to have it online, okay, for law dictionary. Of course, need to listen tentatively. So there are many type of reading, and usually for law paper we give 15 minutes reading time. So basically the question, okay, that will be given to you include reading time. So this is what we need to plan. Okay, scanning, intensive, okay, skimming, extensive. Okay, so of course it comes with question and answer. So these are the method or skill. Okay, you can try to connect what you already know about the story or topic of the book. Okay, try to connect the information to your life, or perhaps you can make prediction, and this is what we do in answering law paper. We make prediction and we make presumption, because sometimes the question given to you, okay, specifically, okay, pertaining to the question, okay, itself. Okay, so hold on, class. Okay, so currently we are looking to evaluate also, okay, law exam paper. Okay, so So there are many ways how to think, and when you read, okay, usually okay, you can do actually mind mapping. That is suitable for some of you. If some of us might not be good in mind mapping. Okay, so firstly, the types of reading is very important when you read law. Okay, sometimes you have to scan, sometimes you have to skim. Okay, scanning usually is very intensive, but when you go to skimming, it is very extensive. Okay, with question and also answers. So when you read class, basically you try to connect what is your surrounding and also what to predict, okay, from the fact or the question given to you. And of course, it is also to picture yourself, okay, what you see, hear, taste, smell, okay, what is actually authors trying to put into words. And if you look at the textbook, okay, by Dr. Halimah Peng, you realize that there are not many graphs, and that is what the law is all about. Okay, it is more to explanation, okay, to the facts. But at the back of each chapter, okay, it has been summarized to you in point form. Okay, summary of the what is being discussed in the chapter. That is very helpful, especially for those who do not have any law background. And at the back, okay, of each chapter, there will be practice question and answer. Okay, you have to think what are the words, okay, or sentences, okay, that do not make sense, okay, when you read, and you have to reread for clarity. Okay, and then you need to summarize to classify what you have been reading and also to evaluate. So the skill needed when you read law textbook, okay, these are the 6 steps, okay, that can assist you. Okay, you try to connect, you try to predict, what you try to picture, you try to question, you try to summarize, and you try to evaluate. Okay, so it's not an easy task also. Okay, but this is the challenge of taking law paper. So this is the example of mind mapping. Okay, we have covered chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Okay, so you want to mention about sources of law in Malaysia. So you simplify it into mind mapping. So this is a simple mind mapping. Actually, you can use mindmapping.com. Okay, there is application to assist you, okay, to draw the mind mapping itself. So it is to simplify the note. So I cannot say my note is better than yours or your note is better than me, because as long as you yourself understand the note, that is better. Okay, and you have to familiarize with the legal jargon. Okay, as I mentioned, we need sometimes to learn also on Latin words. Okay, because law derived from the Roman law, okay, and British, okay, adopted, okay, as regard to the inherited into the principle itself. So this is an example of mind mapping. Okay, so after you read the whole chapter or what is has been simplified to you, okay, in the slide, okay, it will assist you to do this mind mapping. So note taking skill is also important, okay, especially during the lecture. Try to write all meaningful information, okay, legibly. But during this short semester, I'm not sure whether you have the time to reduce. Okay, try to summarize the idea fact using the keyword, okay, as keyword, and try to recite all the information in your own word without looking at the notes, okay, on the text. Okay, you try to recite after the what we call lecture session, and then try to reflect, raise question, okay, and try to record original ideas, and then later you review, okay, the reading new material, okay, take 10 minutes to review the older notes, okay, skim over the main ideas and details. So this is the ideal suggestion, okay, for what we call for the process, okay, of note taking. So usually when I was in campus, usually I have a jot book, okay, where I jot down everything, okay, about what the lecturer said, okay, and then I reduce into what I call a better note, okay, which is readable. Okay, if you look at the jotter book, okay, it is not readable. Sometimes only I myself can read the jotter book. So that's why we have many categories of notebook class. Okay, we have jotter book. Okay, I'm still traditional. Okay, I'm also still jotting down, even though nowadays you can type and record, okay, in the video and so on. Okay, because it is a good exercise actually to trigger all your senses, okay, when you do writing. And you recite class the information, okay, try to expand the words, okay. So I believe that when you practice, okay, of course it will take time for you to practice, okay, and then you try to reflect, okay, and also try to review also, okay. So of course there is a ranking, okay, when you do a law paper. Okay, for those who know about the law paper itself, okay, you're going to see, okay, the differences, okay, when you take when you try to improve, okay, every semester, okay, of your what you call, of your answering, okay, the paper. So I believe that when it comes to management, okay, when it comes to accounting or finance paper, okay, it has its own skill, okay, needed. So those who just join, okay, I'm going to share the video, okay, at the end, okay, of the class, okay, how to study law. Basically you need a good dictionary sometimes, okay, in order to what I call to answer, okay, law paper. So again, as I discussed earlier, okay, that the midterm examination will be on 20th August, okay, and final examination will be determined by the faculty. Okay, so we can start now, okay, and continue, okay, with the Contract Act 1950, okay, about the law of agency. Okay, any question before we proceed? So I hope that you can hear my voice clearly. Okay, so please interrupt if there is any interruption, okay, at your place. Okay, so because we are learning what I call learning from virtual, okay, might be the internet at your place might not be accepting, okay, or receiving. So others might hear, others might not hear. So yesterday we have started to cover on urgency. Okay, so perhaps after you have finished, okay, the topic of agency, you might start to do mind mapping, okay, as I shared earlier. Okay, there is also an application known as mindmap.com. Okay, it is actually can be used not only for exam purposes. Okay, but when we work also, it is better that we have what we call mind mapping. Okay, mind mapping in order to understand. Okay. Okay, so welcome Ngo Yilion. Okay, I've tried to contact you, okay, but the number is different, okay, in the system. Okay, Ngo Yilion. So, okay, I will add you in the Telegram. Okay, I will share the connection here in the uh, uh, in the in the what you call chat box. Okay, so Isaac Pereira, previously I mentioned we are not supposed to use on word for definition question. Yes, we should not use definition. For definition question, we should not use our own words. Okay, but there are other, if the question asks you to clarify the definition, okay, then you need to use your own word. Okay, so are there any other type of law question which we cannot use our own words? So basically, there is no sample answer, okay, for law question, because basically the examiner will look firstly at the structure of your answer. Okay, for your information, okay. So okay, and then the question or the examiner also will look whether it is understood or not. Okay, it means that if it is too short, okay, the answer, then it might be does not being explained properly, okay, to the examiner. So when you answer law paper, yes, you try to memorize, but at the same time, we have to look at the question whether it need further clarification, okay, from us. Okay, so yes, of course, we need to use also our own words in order to give explanation. okay, pertaining to what we call pertaining to the question itself. Okay, so let me share here. Okay, so you can join. Okay, Ngo Yidion. So I hope the explanation is clearer. Okay, for Isaac Pereira. Okay, about what are the things okay that you use our own or not. Okay, perhaps I can put question and also sample of answer that is not accepted by the examiner, okay, for law paper, okay, to make it clear, okay, how to answer law paper. Okay, because sometimes when we read the answer, okay, and when we skim through the answer, sometimes the student do not mention the relevant section, the relevant explanation. So that's why the student do not score for the paper. Okay, a good we call a good paper. Usually, you have introduction. Okay, you have content. Okay, you have also discuss the specific section. So in any readings, okay, you really examiner will look at also how the consequences of your explanation. Okay, if you let's say okay discuss the thesis statement in paragraph A, mix around. Okay, so that is also might affect the marks okay given to the student. So if you can see class, this is the course. Okay, I've also already upload. Okay, in the post, I hope that you can see. Okay, the slide here. Okay, and also I've already post also the connection. Okay, just in case those who cannot see. Okay, for the Telegram, and I've already upload also the recorded link okay for chapter 1 okay and then chapter 2 will be in the process. So for those who join might be joining this paper okay later because we are still in airdrop okay so this can be helpful okay for you. Okay, so the most important part is about your what you call the examination. Okay, that you should not be missed. Okay, if you miss, okay, please inform. Okay, because currently we're going to have individual assignment. Okay, that is on 1st until 14. Okay, you are given 14 days approximately to review an article and to summarize an article not more than 1,500 words. Okay, summarizing what you call article is also an important skill as a university student. Why? Because it will give you some idea about how to read. Okay, because when you are a university student, you do not rely totally on the textbook. Okay, you might also get outside information, okay, which is also guided by the lecturer, and that is called referred journal. And in most cases, the ranking of the university, okay, depends also on how many publication, okay, that a student or might be the lecturer okay produce. So this is also an important aspect. So when I was in England, okay, usually there is society law student society. They will also publish okay what you call the relevant articles okay to contribute to the knowledge okay of the society itself. So we have started chapter 4 class. Okay, so chapter 1, chapter 2 and chapter 3 basically for mid semester examination. Okay, so our mid semester examination we have proposed to have it on 20th August. Okay, that is the proposed date. Okay, perhaps you might be given a few days to answer the question. Okay, this is because of the situation. Okay, because if it is face to face, different. Okay, if it is now we are relying on the internet. Okay, for communication. Okay, that is also uh, empathy to the situation okay that we are facing okay at the moment. Okay, so I have to acknowledge okay learning through the medium of the internet is different okay from face to face. Okay, so that is as regard to individual assignment 20 marks, 30 marks is for the what you call midterm examination. So we're going to finish our lecture, okay, by before the Independence Day, okay, sebelum hari kemerdekaan, okay, that is on 31st August. So yesterday we have discussed about aspect of how agency can be created. Okay, what are the ways, okay, the agency can be created, and also the example, okay, and what are the criteria in order for you to appoint the principal and also the agent, okay, in cases of law of agency. So as I mentioned, okay, we might not refer to all section in the Contract Act 1950. Okay, so yesterday we have covered until the creation, okay, of agency. Okay, we have discussed, okay, in relation to creation, okay, by agency, okay, which is under necessity. Okay, if you still can recall, okay, yesterday, okay, we have discussed on creation, okay, of agency. It also can be one of the requirement. It can be by necessity, okay, darurat, where three conditions must be met, okay, as we have discussed yesterday, that it is impossible for the agent to keep in touch with the principal instruction. Okay, perhaps difficult to communicate with the principal. Okay, perhaps the principal, okay, stranded in other country. Okay, which is not easy for the agent to get connected with the principal. So that is under section 142. Okay, and there are circumstances which is out of our control. Okay, for example, if you still remember the big what we call the incident, okay, of incident which make the whole country, okay, in back in 1998, the whole country blackout, no electricity for 3 hours. Okay, I don't know what whether you have born or not. Okay, but at that time Malaysia suffer, okay, because it caused what you call no electricity for 3 hours at night. Okay, so that is which is out of our control. So that is where the situation you cannot contact with the principal or the itself. So communication fail. So that is also allowed, okay, for you to appoint an agent. Okay, and the agent action now is necessary. Okay, in the circumstances, if the action do not act now, okay, the principal will suffer loss. Okay, and this is you take a quick action, okay, just to make sure that if the party or the principal is safe. And you must prove also, okay, that the agent, okay, of necessity, okay, must have acted in good faith. So good faith here, it means that you have the good intention, okay, in order to assist, and it is also proven, okay, from the situation. Okay, so even though you said that nobody can read my mind, okay, but from the action it reflects. Okay, so that is how the court will assess, okay, as regard to the situation. Okay, what is meant by have acted in good faith. Good faith here, it means that it is with the good intention, okay, of a person. So how you want to know that a person hold a good intention or not? Okay, by the action. Okay, so that's why in law, the court or the judge will assess the intention of someone by looking at the action. Okay, action that have been taken by the person, okay, in charge. So in cases of emergency, an agent also has authority to do all such act, okay, for the purpose to protect his principal from loss. Okay, that is the main idea. Okay, where you can appoint agent in cases of emergency, and it could be done by a person of ordinary prudence. Okay, in his own case under similar circumstances under section 142 just now. Okay, that you cannot communicate with the principal. Okay, so ordinary prudent, it means any layman, okay, will take this action. Okay, any ordinary person, okay, will take this action, okay, to assist, Okay, just like when you see, or what you call, when you see fire in front of you, of course you're going to make a call. Okay, but nowadays, of course, some people will take video first. But the first action usually you try to rescue the person and take action by calling the relevant authorities. Okay, the fireman. Okay, might be ambulance. Okay, to assist. So this is the principle of ordinary prudence. Okay, you're going to react just like any other ordinary person. If a person who is insane, okay, orang gila, okay, if they see might be fire, okay, they might not be responding, okay, because an insane person is not considered as ordinary prudence. So that is the word, okay, ordinary prudent. So the element of urgency of necessity, there must be a situation of necessity. So a situation that you cannot control. Okay, just like what we are facing at the moment. Okay, the pandemic COVID-19. Okay, it is necessary. Okay, for us to look at the standard of procedures that is being suggested by the World Health Organization. So in these circumstances, okay, it might necessary for you to appoint an agent. Okay, of course, as a principal, you cannot travel, okay, at the moment. So you need to appoint an agent, okay, to make sure that the products are well distributed and well received, okay, by the customer. And the agent cannot obtain instruction from the principal. Okay, so what might say that perhaps, okay, the agent, okay, do not have the sufficient amount of money, okay, to receive instruction from WhatsApp, for example. Okay, initially class in 2012, okay, the Suruhanjaya Komunikasi and Multimedia, or the Malaysian Communication and Multimedia Commission, initially stated that for communication through WhatsApp is only for social purposes. Okay, it means to contact your friend, to chat with your friend. But due to this pandemic COVID-19, okay, it was instructed and decided in a case last year that the instruction from the employer, okay, to the employee can be done through social media, like WhatsApp or Telegram. And for employee, if they want to left the group, they must get permission first from the employer. So this is situation class as the law change according to the situation also. So the agent cannot obtain instruction from the principal. So you must also study why agent cannot communicate with the principal. The principal might be have difficulties, okay, in order to keep in touch, and the agent here must act in good faith and in the interest of the principal. So the intention is very important. Okay, the agent actually wanted to help the principal in doing the business, and the act agent must be reasonable and also prudent. Okay, it means that he has taken step, okay, to communicate with the principal. Okay, and he or she, the agent here, does not go something which is beyond the law. Okay, that is the meaning of the word must be reasonable. The action done by the agent must be reasonable and also prudent. Okay, it means accepted by any person. Okay, so that is the requirement that need to be proven. Okay, in order for a principal to appoint an agent. But as I said earlier, the most easiest way to prove is by express appointment. Okay, you write a formal letter, okay, and give to that person, okay, that you already going to appoint this person as your agent. Okay, but sometimes the circumstances do not allow us to give express appointment. Okay, perhaps because of the principal have limited budget, okay, have constraint to appoint many agent for his business. Okay, so each day for a business, okay, is usually it will about also profit. Okay, next is about estoppel. Okay, there are three elements, okay, necessary to constitute estoppel. Firstly, you must make a representation made by or on behalf of the principal to the third party concerning the authority of the agent. Okay, let's say I'm the principal. Okay, I'm selling a pink pen, for example. Okay, so I'm telling a new customer, so I said that okay, this pink pen, okay, is available. If you are interested, okay, you can refer to Miss So, for example. So I'm mentioning this to the customer, okay, that I'm acknowledging Miss So as my agent. Okay, this is in the future. I cannot say, oh no, Miss So is no longer my agent. Okay, so this is representation made, okay, by or on behalf of the principal. It can be done by me as a principal, okay, or by Miss So herself, saying that, oh, I'm the agent. Okay, if you are interested to buy a pink pen, okay, you can contact me. Okay, you are giving this information to the customer, to a third party, okay, about the authority of the agent. You mean what is the power, okay, of the agent? So this is the first requirement. The second requirement, okay, that is necessary is reliant by the third party, okay, on the representation, okay, made by the principal to the third party. So just now I mentioned to the customer, okay, that Miss So is the agent in order for you, if you are interested in buying the pink pen. Okay, so the third party trust me, okay, because of the statement that I made to him or her just now. Okay, so you cannot say, oh no, that is a mistake. Okay, so I cannot say it is a mistake, okay, because the customer, okay, rely on the statement, okay, made by me as the principal. And the third party, okay, we're talking about in easiest way is the customer must rely on the principal representation and alter or change his or legal position, okay, on the strength of the representation. So the customer will decide whether he or she wanted to be a client or customer or not, based on what I've already explained to the third party, that is the customer. So class, these are the ways how you can appoint an agent. Okay, express, okay, implied, okay, by way of estoppel, by way of necessary. So we do not know actually what going to happen, okay, in the future. So agency is relevant to bankers because the relationship between bankers and customer, okay, are based on agency. So usually banker will also promote the product of the bank, okay, and try to attract the customer, okay, in case of the agency. And furthermore, okay, bank employees are considered as the agent of the bank. So even though the bank, okay, is considered as not a living thing, okay, but it is considered in law as a registered, what I call as a registered, what I call under the law. So in other words, you can sue the bank and bank can sue you, even though, okay, it's not the board of directors, okay, but we have what I call name, okay, for this company. So bank employees are being recruited, okay, to assist, okay, to market the bank. Okay, and sometimes the customer's agent can act on the customer's behalf when transacting with the bank. So it's very important, okay, even though Malaysia is saying to be moving to digital economy, okay, and so on, okay, but you need someone to control this digital economy, okay. Even though they said that in the future, by having artificial intelligence, okay, you're going to replace the system, okay, going to replace with non lawyers, okay, again we need a basic thing, okay, we need also human touch, okay, in cases of transaction, okay, even though nowadays, okay, we can see electronic banking, electronic commerce, okay, but we need a person to make sure that the system itself is working, okay. So that is the relationship, okay, between agency in relation to banking. Okay, and bank also is an agent also for customer. Okay, we know that banker and customer, okay, are considered as debtor and also creditor. Okay, the bank give the credit, okay, and the customer become the debtor. Okay, but rarely the other way around. So banker act as his customer's agent. Okay, and also bank employees also are considered agents for the bank. And usually when you are appointed as a banker, you have an authorized what I call access, okay, to the facilities to the bank, and you are acting on behalf of the bank. And for bank, they are liable for torts committed by its employee. So law of tort, okay, if you still can recall in our first chapter, we have discussed, okay, the law of tort. It means that the individual relationship with other individual, that is the individual customer with the bank. Okay, it means that the bank has duties and responsibilities towards the customers. Okay, and that is called law of tort. Another example beside bank, okay, is about patient and doctor. Okay, if let's say you transfer your blood in the hospital and you found that the blood actually contain HIV positive, okay, so you can charge and sue the doctor under the law of tort for medical negligence. Similarly, in the case of bank and the customer, banker and customer, let's say banker transfer your money to other account. Okay, you have instructed the bank to transfer the money in your account, okay, to your friends A. Okay, but what happened? Okay, there is a mistake on the part of the banker that they transferred the money to a third party that you do not know. So, if it is not well settled, class, okay, then you can bring the case against the banker under the law of tort. Okay, but usually for the case of banking sector, okay, Central Bank of Malaysia, okay, Bank Negara, okay, they have this mechanism. Okay, try to settle within the bank. Okay, if it is not going to be settled by the bank, you have the right to lodge a complaint as a customer, okay, to the Bank Negara, okay, to the Central Bank of Malaysia. So next point, okay, that you need to know is about what are the duties of principal and agent. Okay, so this is new word perhaps, okay, for some of you. Okay, firstly, the relationship is fiduciary relationship. Okay, it means that it is based on trust. Okay, you deposit the money in the bank because you trust with the bank, and of course with the banker. Okay, so that is the first what we call type of relationship. Okay, that the duties. Okay, when you come with fiduciary relationship, it means that the bank, okay, has to protect the money of the customer. Okay, so that is the relationship. Okay, and then under section 164 until section 178. Okay, so yesterday I've already showed to you, okay, the gist of the Contract Act 1950. So now we're going to look at section 164. So firstly, it is the agent duty to in conducting principal business. So the banker, okay, must make sure that he or she, okay, while in the bank, okay, he is doing the the banking businesses. Okay, not other businesses. Okay, that is required by the law under section 164. Okay, under section 165, okay, it is also required there must be skill and diligence required from the agent. Okay, so as a banker, okay, you need to have specific skill and diligence. Okay, it means that you have qualification, okay, in order to be enrolled, okay, to work in a bank. Okay, so of course you have certain qualification, okay, in order to fulfill this, and that is mentioned in section 165. So bank usually don't take those with illiterate, cannot read and write, okay, because you have skills and diligence. Okay, you need to be practiced. Usually if you work or employed, okay, in banking sector, okay, usually you have 6 month training. Okay, 6 month training to adopt to the new environment. Okay, and even nowadays, even work from home, okay, the first 6 months is very crucial, okay, where the principal will try to train even through what you call online session. Okay, last month, okay, we've tried to connect, okay, the industry from the Securities Commission, okay, with the graduating student, okay, to expose to them, okay, what are the skill required, okay, if you work in the banking sector, okay, especially in the commercial banking. Okay, so these are the things, okay, that you need also training, okay, before you go and jump into any sector. And then agent account is also mentioned under section 166 of the Contract Act, and it is the agent duty to communicate with the principal under section 167. So as a banker, okay, you have to communicate with the principal, okay, in term. So these are the listed what we call duties, okay, which become a statutory duty. It means that it is required by the law. Okay, and in other words, if you do not fulfill this requirement, okay, you might be terminated. Okay, termination from the contract of the agency. So the agent's duty is to communicate with the principal, okay, to inform the principal the progress, to be transparent, okay, as especially when you are responsible for records, okay, of the financing matters and so on. Okay, and what I found for the past 10 years is the emerging area of forensic accounting. Okay, not only for investigation for criminals, okay, but as more cases of white collars, okay, have been discovered, okay, we are in the law background also are being trained and exposed, okay, about forensic accounting, okay, how you're going to see and read the balance sheet of a company, and you can suspect, okay, what's wrong with the business of that company. Okay, so that is also an emerging area, okay, for the past decade. Okay, and the right of principal when agent deal, okay, on his own account in the business of agency without principal's consent. Okay, that is under section 168. So you have to look, okay, principal consent, okay, the principal should brief what are the area, okay, what are the delegation of powers, okay, that can be given by the agent, okay, to what area that the agent can deal, okay. That is possible, okay, when you read, okay, the contract of appointment, okay, that is given by the principal, okay, to the agent, okay, and that is mentioned under section 168 of the Contract Act 1950. And next, under section 169, okay, the principal right is to benefit gain by agent dealing on his account in business of agency. So, the principal has the right, okay, to gain, to benefit, okay, what has been gained by the agent, okay, when the agent try to deal, okay, in business of the agency. So, if one day you become a business man, okay, who has the responsibilities towards agent, okay, you have to be very clear and specific, okay, when you deal with the law of agency, because this is mentioned under section 169. The problem that we found in cases of companies and also partnership, okay, what we found sometimes the partner, they get a personal what I call personal income, okay, but supposedly is under the platform of the company. So again, transparency is very important when you work with someone, okay, or work under someone, okay, you must tell what is the profit, okay, what is the loss, and that is something that is required by the law. The problem is that if it is required by the law, okay, and if you do not fulfill, it means that you have breached the law. Okay, you have go against the law. So that is the most important thing when you start to do work as an agent. Okay, and also the principal need to know what are the things that he can share with the with the agent. And under section 170, agents' right of retainer out of sum key receive on the principal's account. So if there is any retainer, okay, out of the sum, okay, it must also be disclosed, okay, and it depends actually on how the company is being managed. Okay, so different company or different business entity, okay, it has different style of management. That is one thing. And secondly, it has different type of administration. So this is also very important, okay, in terms of you want to make sure, okay, that the agent and also as well as the principal are doing their duties. Next, under section 171, agent duty to pay some received, okay, for the principal. So if the agent receive from the customer or the third party some amount, okay, that is supposed to do with the business, okay, it is the duty of the agent to pay the sum received for the principal under section 171. Okay, so you cannot keep into your pocket, okay, to your individually. Okay, and if I can share some real case class, if back in 1990s, before we has Computer Crime Act 1997 in Malaysia, we have this case, a clerk, Aman Shah. Okay, it is a case public prosecutor against Aman Shah. Okay, this is not a case that you need to learn. It is under cybercrime actually, but it is related to a banker. What happened to this banker, Aman Shah? He transferred one single cent. He's an authorized clerk in a bank in Kuala Lumpur. So he transferred 1 cent from the customer's account, okay, to his personal account, okay, almost every day. And the manager of that bank becomes suspicious to to the activities, okay, because initially the manager did not realize, okay, that every account of the customer's account, not only one account, okay, the bank has a lot of customers, okay, and then the manager becomes suspect. Why? Because Aman Shah drove 9 luxurious car every day. I mean different cars. Okay, Lamborghini. Okay, whereas he worked as a clerk, and the manager know that he's not from wealthy family. So he becomes suspicious, and the manager try to investigate the scope of the work of this banker. And as a result, he found that Aman Shah has been doing these activities, okay, since he was appointed as a clerk, okay, in a bank in Kuala Lumpur. Okay, so as a result, okay, at that time, okay, he was charged under the penal code. At that time, we don't have Computer Crime Act, okay, 1997. And in wake of that case, okay, the government has introduced, okay, anything, okay, that is against. He has been charged for CBT, criminal breach of trust under penal code. So this the agent duty class here. What I'm trying to tell here is the agent duty to pay some receipt for the principal. So you must be transparent. So and again the moral story of the case of Aman Shah, please check your bank account. Okay, we rarely do that class. Okay, I myself sometimes when we receive sometimes it's a compilation. Okay, 6 months. Okay, if it is hard copy. Nowadays it's soft copy. Everything will be sent to your online account. Okay, and sometimes we don't check our bank account. Okay, how much is the balance and whether there have been any suspicious transaction in our account. Okay, so Aman Shah just took 1 cent, 1 sen, okay, from the account, okay, of the customer. Okay, and the customer also did not lodge any complaint, okay, because it's only 1 cent. If it is 1 million, of course, the customer will lodge a report. But here is only 1 cent. So this case was reported back in 1999. Okay, when at the time we don't have specific law to protect transaction on the internet, electronic banking. Under section 172, okay, this is the case of agent remuneration become due. Okay, it means that the income, okay, of the agent, okay, you need to pay, for example, on the beginning of the month, okay, but the principal do not pay. So it is a legal duty. Okay, so when it becomes a legal duty, the agent, okay, after certain time can bring the case, okay, and sue the what call sue the principal. Okay, but nowadays in today's situation, okay, usually there are other medium where you cannot just simply go to the court, okay, but you also have mechanism like you can lodge report to the tribunal, okay, about how the employer treats you, okay, under the industrial court, okay, mahkamah industri in bahasa Malaysia. Okay, so because we try actually to go to the court, try to avoid to go to the court because sometimes it's very expensive, and sometimes very long the procedure. Okay, especially if it is might be a criminal cases, complicated criminal cases. Okay, agents are not entitled to remuneration for business misconducted. Okay, so in other words, under section 173 is 172 mentioned that the agent, okay, must be paid on time. Okay, but if the agent, okay, has done something, okay, which is misconducted under section 173, the agent are not entitled to be paid. Okay, because the issue of misconduct. Okay, so usually um, in cases of reported misconduct of an agent, okay, usually there is a procedure. Okay, of course you have the right to terminate. Okay, but there is a procedure because you must ensure that the person who you said, okay, the agent that you said have committed with misconduct, you have them the right to be heard, the right to defend themselves. Okay, you cannot simply listen to a complaint from the customer, immediately terminate the agent. No, you have to investigate first. Okay, whether the agent conduct is proper or it is considered as misconducted. And next is lien on principal property. So lien is like a charge, okay, to the principal. For example, okay, the principal wanted to borrow money from the bank. As a result, the principal has put a lien or a charge, okay, at his own property or his own house or apartment, okay, just to get some money, okay, to run the business. So in order to get that, what you call money from the bank, to borrow money from the bank, the principal has to put some charge. Okay, agent's land under section 174. And the agent also need to be indemnified against consequences of lawful act under section 175. So section 173 just now is about misconduct. But section 175, okay, provide indemnity. Okay, it means that compensation. Okay, if what is the agent doing is lawful, is allowed by the law. So you have to differentiate class between section 173 and also section 175. Okay, section 173 is about you don't get any income, the agent, okay, if you do something which is against the conduct of the business. But under section 175, okay, you will get, okay, indemnity. It means that you will be paid, okay, indemnity, ganti rugi, okay, as a result of the lawful act that has been covered, okay, by the agent itself. Okay, so any question, class? So what are the duties, okay, of the principal, okay, and agent is a continuation. Okay, again, agent to be indemnified against consequences of act done in good faith under section 176. So just now, okay, it is lawful act. Now, the agent can prove what he or she has done is because based on good intention. Okay, that is under section 176. So how you going to know that this agent has good intention or not? Based on the action. Okay, based on the action of the agent. Okay, so that's why the court or the judge, when they listen to a case about whether there is bad intention or not, okay, because the court or the judge, we cannot read other people's mind. But based on your action, okay, we know that your action will indicate whether it is a good intention or not a good intention or otherwise. And again, in cases of agent, non-liability of employer of agent to do a criminal act, okay, and that is provided under section 177. In other words, if let's say, okay, the agent has involved, okay, with murder, so the employer of this agent will not be responsible, okay, to the criminal act done by the agent. And again, it must not be related to the business, okay, or to the what I call to the employer itself. Okay. And the compensation to agent, okay, for injury caused by principal neglect, okay, in cases where the principal have been reminded on the safety, okay, on the what we call whereabouts of the agent, okay, but it has been ignored by the principal, then the agent actually can sue the principal, okay, for negligence of the principal. The agent already reminded the principal saying that the electricity connection in the premise, okay, is not good. Okay, and then suddenly 2 weeks later, okay, the premise, okay, has caught in fire, okay, due to the electricity short. So if this is considered, okay, the principal negligent, then the agent can claim, okay, if he or she get injured in the fire, okay, she or she can claim compensation, okay, from the principal, okay, for the injury if the agent suffer, okay, with the injury. So in general, Kas, what are the duties of an agent? So please take note. Okay, this is a popular question even for ACCA. Okay, accounting paper, professional paper. Okay, the duties of an agent. Okay, firstly, under section 164, we are talking about the Contract Act 1950, is to obey the principal's instruction. Okay, as long it is a legal instruction, okay, then it is allowed, okay, for the agent to follow the instruction. If the principal said that you must copy information, okay, from the competitors, okay, that is something instruction that the agent have to think, okay, because copy from other competitors might not be legal, okay. So obey here, you have to look whether it is a lawful instruction or not, okay. That is the duty, okay, under section 164. If the principal do not give any instruction, okay, is to act according to the custom which prevail. So in other words, what is the legal practice or the business practice, okay, in Malaysia, for example. Okay, let's say I give you example. In most developed countries, in order for you to open a bank account, you need to have an appointment with the banker. Okay, you cannot simply walk in. We rarely have we call will get the opportunity. Okay, simply walk in, okay, and they will open the account for you. No, okay, especially during winter. Okay, so in Malaysia you can walk in because that is the custom in Malaysia. Okay, you can walk in to the clinic, you can walk in to the hospital, you can walk in to meet the banker. Okay, so this is if there is no instruction from the principal. Okay, so you have to look what is the practice. Okay, in different country has different practice. So in doing business of the same kind, okay, at the place where he carries his work. So the principle, okay, perhaps the practice in Sarawak might be different. Okay, the practice in Sabah might be different. So every state and even every what we call district, okay, might have different custom. Okay, when it comes to the practice of agent and also principle. Okay, before we take a break, okay, we're going to look also the duties to exercise care and diligence, okay, in carrying out his business. So this is actually the duties imposed, okay, to the agent. Okay, it means that whether the agent, okay, is negligent, and diligent, it means that he has or she has the interest, okay, in doing the job. Okay, and to use the skill that a person possess, okay, in to deliver the job. Okay, for example, your specialization is in finance. Okay, it is reflected in your degree. It is also reflected in your work. In your work, you show there is care, okay, and also diligent. Okay, that is provided under section 165. To exercise care here means that it's not jogging class. Okay, but it means that you apply the conduct of care of what you are doing. Okay, of the what you call you become sensitive. Okay, in your work. Okay, sensitive in a positive way. Okay, so you use your skill, okay, to do the work on behalf of the principal. 166 is to render proper accounts when required. Okay, so if you're the duty of the agent to record, okay, the monetary transaction, okay, every day, without failure, okay, the agent must do that. Okay, unless there is a reason, okay, why the agent, for example, fall sick, okay, met with an accident, cannot deliver the job. Okay, so render proper account. Okay, this is the duty given, okay, by the law. Okay, it is a written duty. Okay, so it means it is compulsory. Okay, wajib. Okay, if it is not being done, okay, the principal can take legal action, okay, against the agent. And next is to pay his principal all sum received on his behalf. Okay, if the customer pay 100 ringgit, so as an agent you have to transfer the 100 ringgit, okay, to the principal. Okay, and you cannot take 80 ringgit, okay, and then 20 ringgit only you pay to the principal. So that will not be allowed, okay, by the law itself. And again, to communicate with the principal, okay, that is the duty, and not to let his interest conflict with his duty. Okay, it means when you are an agent, you have to look also at your scenario, at your situation, whether your job, okay, will be in conflict with your personal life. That is also under section 169. Okay, next is the duty of the agent is not to make any secret profit out of the performance of his duty. Basically, this is overlap. Okay, with F, okay, it means that if he receive 80 ringgit from the customer, the agent must transfer 80 ringgit to the principal. Okay, don't keep any secret profit. Okay, if the customer give you gratuity, okay, that might be different situation. Okay, tips usually. Okay, so secret profit, okay, there must be transparency, okay, from the agent to the principal. And then not to disclose confidential information or documents entrusted to him by his principal. So this is the problem, okay, that we have with the social media nowadays. Some employee, they are very excited to know confidential information. Okay, and in Malaysia, we have Official Secret Act, and even for companies, okay, they also have confidential documents. Okay, it's not about sharing is caring. Okay, no. Okay, there are certain documents which you cannot share with the public, with the third party. Okay, and that is called confidential information, and it become a challenging situation, especially during this internet session. Okay, I mean, by having internet, okay, you have the what you call the situation, okay, as regard to confidential information or document under the Banking Act, okay, and Financial Institution Act 1969, which has been abolished by the government. Okay, confidential information, if you disclose, okay, it can send you to the prison. So when you work as an agent, okay, you must be aware of what are the document or what are the information that you cannot share with the customer. Okay, and usually the what I call the principal will brief you and will give you some written guideline. Okay, so that's why especially those who work in restaurant, okay, we try to imitate sometime, okay, the recipe from the good restaurant, for example, okay, let's say nasi lemak, okay, or nasi ayam, okay, rice, but we try to imitate, but the taste is not the same, okay, because sometimes this is the trade secret, okay, that is considered and labeled as confidential information. Okay, so we take a break for 5 minutes. Okay, so now is 6 4 minutes, so you can come back to 6 9 minutes. Okay, so please bear with me. Okay, we continue. So I was not informed actually. Okay, that the slide was frozen. Okay, so we continue. Okay, as regard to the question about confidential information. Okay, for government servant, okay, they have this Official Secret Act, okay, 1950, where actually you cannot simply share the documents, especially if you work, okay, and going be if you work under certain agencies, okay, government agencies, okay, so that is confidential, and usually it is the power of the minister in charge, okay, the minister or will give the appointment. For example, okay, police enforcement, okay, what else? Okay, police enforcement, medical doctors, okay, they might get instruction, okay, as regard to what are the things, okay, that can be shared, okay, as regard to what you call confidential. At one time, for example, there were document that is considered as confidential. Okay, and after a change of minister, okay, there's a possibility that the document are not being confidential or not. But if you still remember the UPSR examination paper, okay, back in year 2003, okay, if I'm not mistaken, where the whole candidate, okay, who sat for the paper science and also mathematics, they have to repeat the paper. Okay, it was history for the country. Okay, because the exam paper leaked in the WhatsApp group the night before the examination. So as a result, okay, the candidate, okay, for that what I call for that group, they have to what I call they have to sit again for the UPSR and became a history. And as a result, there was two teachers, okay, were charged, okay, for sharing this confidential information. Okay, so again, okay, when you share what I call confidential information, okay, especially if my position as a lecturer, as a teacher, okay, we have confidential information, okay, that we should not be disclosed before examination. Okay, after examination, no problem, you want to disclose. Okay, so there are limitation of course, okay, as regard to the what we call the information, okay, itself. So confidential information class is something that is gaining place, okay, in the workplace, okay, especially if you are the what we call if you are a principal, okay, or you are the employer, okay, so you need to appreciate, okay, what is the requirement, okay, of the law itself. So we have covered actually, okay, on okay, how you can see the slide, okay, duties of principal and agent, okay, to exercise care and diligence, okay, to render proper accounts, to pay his principal all sum received, okay, to communicate with the principal, and not to let his interest conflict with the duty, okay, not to make any secret profit, okay, out of performance of his duty. So conflict with the duty sometimes, okay, of course it will test our integrity. Let's say, okay, you are the employer to that company, okay, and it happen to be you're going to recruit a new staff, okay, and the new staff, the candidate is your own daughter. So the question is that, as a principal, are you going to interview your own daughter, or you going to appoint your business partner? Okay, so that is as regard to conflict, okay, of the duty. So usually for those who really observe the integrity part, okay, they might appoint others, okay, the business partner, okay, or the manager to assess the daughter whether or the son, okay, to because there is a conflict, okay, with the duty. Similarly, if you become a judge class, okay, when you become a judge, you have to be very careful who is going to be the offender that you're going to try in the court. Okay, because if it is friend to your father, okay, you actually have to quit from taking that case and hear that case. Okay, so it's not easy actually when you are in position, okay, where you can put yourself into conflict. Okay, being a judge, okay, being a manager, okay, being a principal, okay. So these are the real cases, okay, that we have witnessed actually, okay, what happened, okay, in the court of law, okay, and in our daily life. Okay, so we proceed class not to disclose information, confidential information or document entrusted to him by the principal. So the principal already mentioned that this document cannot be shared with the others, and you share, okay, it means that you have breached what is being instructed by the boss. So the problem is that with the social media, okay, sometimes you are excited and you share in your Facebook and share in the Instagram, okay, because you believe that this information the public should know. Okay, whereas your principal said don't share this information. Okay, and that is why, because sometimes the public can easily get panic. Okay, if you share this inside information. Okay, there are certain time which we label the information as confidential information. The simple example is, for example, your exam paper. There are certain time where the lecturer has to keep, Okay, we have so many set of bank, okay, of question. So they cannot share actually. Okay, 100%. Okay, it might give you some tips, yes. Okay, but not the 100%. Just like the case of UPSR leakage question. Okay, and as a result, four teachers, okay, were brought to the court, okay, to investigate whether it was negligent, okay, or whether it was accident. Okay, and I still remember vividly, okay, the night before the examination, UPSR examination, I think almost all, okay, parent, okay, who have son or daughter, okay, sitting for the UPSR paper receive that what you call 100%, okay, similar, okay, to the paper next day. Okay, it was science and also mathematics paper. And then not to delegate his authority, okay, or in Latin, okay, this is the new word that you learn today, delegates non potest delegate. Okay, so in Latin, this is the what you call the Latin word. Okay, there is also possibility, okay, if it is MCQ question, you are given define this meaning, okay, A, B, C, D. Okay, so you if you read, okay, then you can answer, not to delegate his authority. So in other words, if you are an agent which is appointed by your principal to take care of the business books in Kajang, okay, but you ask your good friend to take care, it means that you already delegate. Okay, you give the power to your friend, okay, to take care of the business, okay, in Kajang. So this is not allowed, okay, under the agency agreement. So the maxim or the principle, maxim means the principle, okay, you do not delegate the power to others, apply in cases of principal and agent relationship. Okay, so this is very important. If I appoint A should take the responsibility and not A delegate to C and then give to D and give to E, okay, because the agreement signed was between the two person, principal and agent. But there are situation or there are exception to the general rule. Okay, firstly, the principal approve or consent the delegation of the authority. Okay, so I already appoint B as my agent. Okay, but B already mentioned to me, okay, that he is going to appoint C, his friend, as also a business partner or in the agency agreement. So I say okay, and I approve. So that is approval or consent to the delegation of the authority. And this can be seen in the case of D. Boucher against alternative. So basically, class, okay, if for safety, usually the agency should write something, okay, a letter of authority saying that the agent going to appoint C, his friend, to assist. Okay, so just in case anything happen in the future, even though the principal already verbally agree, okay, to the or approve, okay, to the delegation. So what is presumed from the conduct of the parties that the agent shall have power to delegate his authority. Okay, so this is what we call the third party can see the relationship. Okay, A and B. Okay, but at the same time, C is also there. Okay, and whatever C did, okay, in the business are being agreed, okay, by A and B. So it is presumption, okay, andaian in bahasa, okay, that you can see, you can predict, okay, the conduct of the parties to the agent, okay, have power to delegate, okay, the authority. Where the custom, usage or practice of the trade or business permit delegation, as we can see in the case W.A. Combs Limited against Brown, against D. Boucher against Alternative. So, as I mentioned earlier, okay, the trade practices, okay, amalan perniagaan of a place, okay, the practice of the trade of in one country to another or in one place to another allows, okay, for or permits the delegation, okay, of power from agency to another third party. Okay, and principle know, okay, that this practice is allowed, okay, and allowed by the law and is acceptable by the community of that place. Okay, so that is the meaning of custom, usage or practice. Okay, and it is allow delegation of the what we call of the power itself. So where the nature of the agency is such that delegation of authority to another person is necessary to complete the business, as we going to see later the case of Quebec and Richmond Railway Company against Queen. So there are cases where, for example, in railway businesses, you need to appoint an agent to handle the luggage and so on. And again, this agent need a third party to improve the service. So if it is the nature of the agency itself allows delegation, then the principle that you cannot delegate the power will not be applicable in these circumstances. So in case of necessity or unforeseen emergency, for example, earthquake, who knows, or tsunami, as what happened in 2004. 2004, in fact, hospital Selayang at that time, the patient have been to call down, because of the earthquake. In 2000, what you call, not a heavy earthquake, but a small earthquake that happened due to the tsunami at that time, 2004. So in cases of unforeseen emergency or necessity, something which is very unpredictable, as we can see in the case of William against Twins. So the act to be done usually is purely ministerial or clerical or administrative and does not involve exercise of any special discretion or skill. So in other words, you actually has appointed C to assist you in the business, but you actually do not appoint C as an agent. But it is an act actually C is appointed either for administration purposes. Administrative here is means administration or clerical type letter, for example. So you don't assign this person as an agent, but actually to assist you in the administration or the clerical. Because as a principal you are very busy, entertaining your client, looking at the business plan, you don't have the time to type. So this is clerical or administrative work. So it does not involve the exercise of any special discretion or skill in the agency or the principal relationship. And this can be seen in the case W.A. Coombs Limited against Brown, Allen and Company against Europa Poster, Services Limited. So this case actually is to prove that this is the principle that is practiced by the law. But sometimes when you answer law paper, there are no decided cases. So you do not mention or create new cases. So usually in answering a law paper, we have what we call marking scheme. But the lecturer or the examiner also will look at how well construct your arrangement of your answer. Can you get my point or not? Sometimes you just simply put the conclusion in the beginning of the your answer. So it is important also the organization of ideas in answering law paper examination. Because the presentation of your answer shows whether you really understand and can really organize your thinking about what should be put first in the answering law paper. So next week in the coming tutorial session, I'm going to give you sample of what key answer of student that might be rejected by the examiner, and what is a good actually sample of answering law paper. Because I've been informed this Friday you're going to meet your head department. Am I right? Because according to Miss Nordiana, you're going to have session with your head department. So for your information, there will be no law law lecture session on Friday. If there is any change, I will inform to you. But this is the information that I received before we start the semester on 5th July. So class, what are the duties of principal to his agent? So just now we discussed about the duty of the agent towards the principal. Now the duties of a principal to his agent. Okay, of course, the first thing is about the commission or other income or other remuneration, okay, which agreed unless the agency relationship is gratuitous. Okay, it means that it's free of charge, gratuitous. Okay, it is a matter that you do something, okay, just to show thanks to someone. Okay, that is gratuitous. So this is the case of Dolphin against Harrison and San Miguel Hay Private Limited, and not to willfully prevent or hinder the agent from earning his commission. Okay, so if you as a principal try to stop, try to obstruct, okay, you don't give the permission to the agent to look for customer. So this is actually not the duty, okay, not to willfully prevent, okay, or hinder the agent from his earning commission. Okay, so in other words, you should support, okay, the agent, okay, when they wanted to get more commission. Okay, it means they are hardworking. And thirdly is to indemnify the agent for act done in the exercise of the authority. So indemnify here means that to give some replacement. Okay, if the agent came, let's say you instruct the agent to go to Kuala Lumpur, okay, by car. Okay, and then the agent met with an accident. So as an principal, okay, you have the duty, okay, to indemnify, okay, to the agent, okay, due to the act done in the exercise of this authority. And finally, okay, before we call it a day, to respect any lien the agent has over the property of the principal in actual or constructive possession of the agent. In other words, the principal, okay, has to acknowledge, okay, that if the agent has put any lien, okay, or any charge, okay, to the property, okay, in the actual or constructive possession of the agent, okay, it is the duty, okay, of the principal, okay, to acknowledge, okay, the action taken by the agent. Okay, so if you do not agree, you must mention. Okay, it doesn't mean that if you disagree, you do not respect. Okay, but here you have to show that there's some respect as regard to the agent when he or she try to protect, okay, your business by making lien. Okay, lien here is a charge. Okay, in order to generate more income, okay, to the we call to the business, okay, itself. Okay, we stop until the 36 okay, slide on the law of agency. Okay, so I don't know whether you have started to receive the textbook. Okay, but in general, with the slide, I might say that it is going to be what I call, because if you need explanation, okay, textbook, okay, and also myself, okay, please do ask question. Okay, anytime in the telegram, I will try to reply, okay, as soon, okay, as possible. Okay, so it almost 6:30. Okay, again, okay, can anyone tell me on Friday you have a meeting, right, with your head department? Okay, can anyone tell me? Okay, Muhammad, Asad, okay, Ngo, Yilion, okay, Isaac, Gary. Okay, I've been informed that you have a meeting with your head department, okay, this Friday. So we need to replace, okay, but since most all of you have different timetable, okay, so we have not get any replacement time. So I will inform you, okay, perhaps we might take on weekend since we are not going anywhere. Okay, on weekends, but not this weekend, might be the coming weekend, okay, for replacement of the lecture, okay, that supposedly to be this Friday. Okay, any questions so far? So I think by this Friday also will be the last day for you to add and drop subject. Okay, so I believe that the system, okay, CN will also update, okay, for the add drop, okay, for the what you call for this session. So we have not finished the chapter 4, okay, on agency law. Okay, I hope that you can have a copy of yourself of contract NIT with 9050. Okay, because it is downloadable. Okay, you can download, okay, from the Attorney General, okay, Daripada Jabatan Peguam Negara, Attorney General Agency, okay, online. But make sure it's from Malaysia. Okay. So any question? Okay, so if there is no question, okay, we meet you on, I'll meet you again on Monday, next Monday. Okay, if the meeting is cancelled, okay, then we can have class, okay, on Friday. Okay, so if there is no question, again, thank you very much. Okay, have a nice day, everyone.